is fired up, and the chef has something good cooking.
Oh, you're cooking, Frankie!
It's the NASCAR Chef, John Dix, and more burning rubber.
And it's time for that gas go for the week. And when I say gas, I do mean gas, because, yeah, I was going to say, John, good Lord, son, you farted. What the hell?
Woo. No, that was probably that damn duck.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I thought we killed Quacker. All right, well, by the way, folks, just up for you here, it's gas and go for a Friday before Martinsville. Oh, man, we've got some more news on throwbacks. We've got Greg Biffle coming back to do some stuff for Throwback Weekend. NHRA news from this past weekend, as well as a couple of penalties from the IndyCar race at Thermal last Sunday as well that were announced throughout the week here. I am producer Wayne, along with Andrew DeLay and the NASCAR Chef John Dix. And boys, we've also got John's recipe coming up here in just a little bit, and we've got the pick from John DeRudris. So if you want to get your bet slips ready, folks. This one here, I got a weird feeling that we're going to see a third blow up in 3 weeks, just based off of John's picks. But we'll see what happens this week here. But we're going to break right on into the news of the day, and that being that Christopher Bell has announced his Darlington paint scheme for Throwback Weekend coming up here in just a couple of weeks' time. And he will celebrate Throwback Weekend at Darlington Raceway by honoring his mentor, Rick Ferkel, with a pair of throwback schemes designed to replicate the Ohio Traveler's most recognizable designs, John.
Okay.
Who
the hell is he?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Wayne.
I swear. Muttley is going to make an appearance if y'all don't get it together. But Bell will pilot the number 19 Sport Clips Toyota GR Supra in Saturday's Sport Clips Haircuts VFW Help a Hero 200 in the Xfinity Series before sporting a vintage Ferkel sprint car look on his number 20 DeWalt Toyota Camry XSE for Sunday's Cup Series race at the track that is considered too tough to tame. And so, you know, Rick Ferkel was a sprint car driver back in the day. That's where Christopher Bell got his start. Andy, I'm surprised you don't remember that.
Oh, no. It's been a while since we've had Chris on the show, like 10 years.
I'm excited about the number 5 and the number 3 throwback paint scheme.
Yeah, I'm excited about the number 3 too. Going back to the old Goodwrench tools, the old Goodwrench tools outlook. Now, granted, I worry about Austin Dillon's choice.
In general?
Yeah, in general, yeah. I just worry about it in general because, I remember, John, you sent us a picture in our group text that we have here where he was like, "I'm doing it for Dale." Like, yay. I'm like, trust me, nobody can do it like Dale. You're just doing it to appease Pawpaw.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and folks, if you like Austin Dillon, I'm sorry. That's just my honest to God opinion. I feel like he's just doing it for Pawpaw Richard. Like, otherwise, there's no real incentive behind it for Austin Dillon at all.
Well, he don't run very good, so he's got to get somebody to track some attention to him.
Something's got to happen, that's for sure,
Yeah, exactly. And somehow they got Goodwrench to sponsor him for the race too, which is just I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. I've got a weird feeling it's not going to go the way he wants it to go. Not unless the spirit of Dale Sr. comes back into that car and actually wills Austin to drive worth a damn.
I wouldn't mind that. I would not mind seeing the spirit of Dale come back into that car and throw his ass out the side of the car and take over.
You are not wrong, sir.
And do a Hail Mary and let NASCAR deal with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
Yep. Next thing you know, we'll see some Mortal Kombat style battles, like the spirit of Dale Sr. coming down from the heavens. All of a sudden, it's just like, finish him.
Right out you see the window net come down inside of the car, and whoop, out Austin Dillon goes into the freaking track.
Well, and this is where I say it would be Mortal Kombat style, because the funny thing is, if you hit the right combos in the game, there was the sound effect that goes along with it.
Yeah, right.
And so it's just like,
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh man, perfectly timed sound effects here on Burning Rubber. Yeah, but moving on here, one other bit of good news that we can talk about when it comes to Darlington coming up for Throwback Weekend, and that's one Greg Biffle has officially been brought on to serve as the honorary pace car driver. Andy.
Yes. Anything Greg Biffle, after all of his heroic service to the folks in North Carolina and Tennessee after the floods. I used to not be a Greg Biffle fan. And after that, brother, he is number one in my book. So it's awesome to hear Greg's coming back, just to drive the pace car for the opening laps. That's great.
Right.
Yeah, I met Biff years ago, and he's a good young man, and good job on all he did for North Carolina.
See, and that's my thing. While I've never been a huge Greg Biffle fan throughout his time in the sports industry, with NASCAR and other things like that, I garnered a lot of respect for him. Just from his ability to handle a good professional interview, to not letting his temper get too wild out on the racetrack if somebody did him wrong. But then seeing what he did with Hurricane Helene relief as well. That just bolstered that respect even higher for Greg Biffle. So
big time.
Yeah, so some good stuff. Seeing Biff coming back in to do the thing up with NASCAR for Darlington Throwback Weekend coming up here in a couple of weeks' time. And speaking of other fun stuff here with drag racing, Andy, we had the Winternationals this past weekend here, not just this past weekend, but we've also got the 65th annual Winternationals coming up this weekend in Pomona, California. So we're going to see everybody there. We're going to see Greg Stanfield from Top Fuel. Hopefully we'll see Ron Capps in action this week if he's able to get cleared or if he's able to clear to race this weekend. We know he was cleared last weekend after his fiery explosion that seriously mirrored the whole John Force incident from last year, but we'll see what happens for this week coming up. I haven't heard any new news as to if there are any underlying issues, but we will obviously keep y'all up to date when it comes to everything like that here. But Pro Stock standout Aaron Stanfield, he had a great season in 2024, and with the Winternationals coming up here at the In-N-Out Burger Pomona Drag Strip, and that's again approaching this weekend here. He's hoping to continue his momentum at Pomona with the third race in the Mission Foods Drag Racing Series season. Hopefully, we'll see him take home a Wally and Top Fuel, Pro Stock. I don't know why I said Top Fuel, but hopefully we'll see Stanfield do something good in Pro Stock this weekend. Who knows? We might see folks like Gage Herrera back doing his thing in Pro Stock motorcycles. And I mean, good God, Andy, how many times did we call out Gage Herrera last year winning in Pro Stock motorcycles?
That's all I would hear was Gage Herrera.
Yeah, exactly. And but needless to say, I think Gage needed to go take a nap after all those wins. He's just like, man, I'm tired. And but you know what? The best way to do that, go with a MyPillow. Grab yourself a MyPillow and go to mypillow.com/BRR. Use the promo code BRR at checkout and get your order delivered for free. And they've got a cool little sale going on right now. It's the biggest sale ever, so go over there and get yourself a MyPillow, some My Slippers, My Towels. They even got the sheet sets going on over there right now. So again, mypillow.com/BRR and use the promo code BRR at checkout to get that order delivered for free. And then moving on here over to the last bit of news that we have for the week for everybody. Heading into everything going on this weekend. No IndyCar race that I'm aware of. No, just NHRA and NASCAR this weekend, folks. So you don't have to be flipping between 30 channels. You only have to flip between 2. And but with that said here, we've got penalties from Thermal from this past week here for IndyCar. Colton Herta, who is a very well-known name over in the IndyCar series, his number 26 Honda from Andretti Global has been penalized by IndyCar for a violation discovered in post-race tech after the Thermal Club IndyCar Grand Prix back on March 23rd. That entry has been fined $25,000 and forfeiting 10 championship points, and all prize monies associated with the Thermal Club. Now, I'm looking here to try and see what the penalty it was, because they didn't issue this penalty until Wednesday. And so let's see. Andretti Global was marked as being in violation of rule number 14.1.4, which says that approved suppliers must submit bulletins to IndyCar for approval prior to releasing bulletins to entries. Once submitted bulletins are approved by IndyCar, members are subject to enforcement by IndyCar itself. Now, reading that, all I hear is a bunch of
That's a word salad if I've ever heard anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't repeat that, Wayne.
Yeah, I was gonna say all I see is bulletins upon bulletins upon bulletins. Like, first of all, and you know, this is where we can get our IndyCar fans involved here. So, folks, you know, if you love watching IndyCar, whatever channel you love watching it on, if you just love IndyCar in general, Facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Underneath this video, are also on our YouTube or Rumble channels as well, where the video is going to be posted at. YouTube.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Rumble.com, search for Burning Rubber Radio. Leave us a comment here if you have any inkling of an idea of what the hell that word jargon meant. Seriously, leave us a comment if you have any idea what the hell that word jargon means, or better yet, IndyCar, if you're listening, I don't know that you are, if you could give somebody some clarification on exactly what the hell this means, that would be great. Because, like I said, it sounds like a word salad, or like Andy said, it's a word salad. Me, I look at it as just a jumble of BS.
That's what it sounded like, though.
So, but yeah, now they go further into it here, where during post-race technical inspection on Sunday, IndyCar discovered that the team incorrectly attached the anti-intrusion plates on the aft leg of the front lower wishbones by using only one plate per side of the chassis instead of two per side, which is a total of four, which were mandated in a Dallara bulletin released on February 14th of 2025. So
there.
Whatever, man. Next.
Yeah, that's what I'm sitting there thinking. I'm reading that and I'm like, wait a minute. They only attached one specific plate or two plates that were mentioned by Dallara. But again, the question is, like, are these like weighted plates? Are they? I know they say anti-intrusion, but it's like, is it some kind of like weight balancing? What the hell is it? I guess would be the question. So again, folks, Facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio, YouTube.com/Burning Rubber Radio, or Rumble.com, search for Burning Rubber Radio, and leave a comment on this video and give us your thoughts if you have any. If you're a mechanic or love IndyCar, in depth, or if you're somebody from IndyCar that actually has an idea of what the hell this rulebook entry means, we'd love to hear it. So
help us out, gang.
Exactly. Follow up and let us know what the hell is going on here. But Andy, you know what time it is, brother.
It's time to eat, ain't it?
It sure is time to eat, and boy, we've been missing that good food there, John Dix. So you take it away.
Well, gang, this week we're going to do something really savory. We have dill pickle hot sauce, and I'm going to tell you guys, I use this on my tacos, and it is to die for.
No wonder he farts.
We're going to start with 1 cup of chopped dill pickles, a half a cup of dill pickle juice, 3 chopped jalapeno peppers. Now, you can do them with or without the seeds. It depends, because obviously we all know the seeds make it a little hotter. 2 cloves of minced garlic, a half a cup of white vinegar, a quarter cup of white vinegar, a 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a half a teaspoon of celery seed, and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Only use a quarter teaspoon of salt to be a little bit salty. It's going to be salty already with the dill pickle juice and the dill pickles. Now you want to put all these ingredients in a blender or food processor. Your pickles, your pickle juice, your jalapenos, your garlic, all this stuff, and blend it real smooth. Now if it gets a little too thick for you, you can add a little more pickle juice. Now put these into airtight bottles, and they can be stored up to the fridge for about 3 to 4 weeks.
And now, John, you say airtight bottles, so I'm assuming this would also be good to can them like mason jars and stuff too, correct?
Yes, Wayne, you can do that because it's got the vinegar in it, which, like you say, it helps keep it processed, or it'll keep it good for a while. But I'm gonna tell you guys, if you like savory stuff, put these on your tacos, or if you do jalapeno poppers on the grill, you can pour a little on top of that. You can do all kind of stuff. And if anybody has any ideas on any other kind of hot sauce or ways to use this, reach out to us. You can reach out to me at john@brrtv.com. Excuse me, .net. That's john@brrtv.net.
Yep. Reach out to the NASCAR Chef and get a hold of the rest of people the week there. And folks, there it is in a full screen view for all of our folks watching the video here. And again, for the gas and go this week, literally a gas and go. John's going to have you stinking your friends off the couch in case they're rooting for the wrong driver this weekend coming up at Martinsville. And,
you will be gassing and going. So.
How appropriate that we're gassing and going when it comes to hot sauce. I know Andrew is going to be doing a lot of that and scaring poor Sue away. I'm just going to have to beat him up.
That's all right. Usually I just get to enjoy that goodness in my cruiser driving around. I'm usually by myself.
Well, hey, you know where that actually would come in handy, Andy. Well, wow, that rhymed awfully well.
Andy.
Andy.
You know where that would come in handy, though, is if you got somebody in the back of the squad car on their way to central processing, and it's like...
Lord, that's cruel and unusual.
Usually they stink worse than I do anyway for the 90th percent of the time. So it's me. I'm the one that's got all the windows down in the cruiser because they stink.
Yeah, but just think about it. If you got that rumble and the tumble, and all of a sudden it's like...
Yeah, there's no problem. They get there.
Chief, if you're watching, no, Andy's not planning anything naughty.
Not me.
But last thing we got to get to here this week is going to be the next thing we're going to get to is the pick of the week here from the NASCAR Chef, John the Dangerous. And Andy, he I got a weird feeling with his pick here for this week because he actually texted it to me this week. He's telling me that this guy has blown up twice in a row, and third time's a charm. So I'm gonna let you take a wild guess who you think he might be picking this week.
Let's see, Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, right on the money. Right on the money. So John D is gonna go with Ryan Blaney for the win, and his exact words. He's like, if he blows up a third time, it's my fault. But folks, again, when it comes to
but really quick, before I forget, I want to also say, folks, Drive Refine. Joey Coulter, go over there and say hi at driverefine.com. They make things work for us here at Burning Rubber Radio, because it's not just driver coaching, it's
Drive Refine.
Drive Refine. I wanted to try it. Also, folks out there at the land of NASCAR Outcast, Floyd Updegrove, and his crew out there, they're on Burning Rubber, big time fans out there, and you can find them on Facebook. That's the land of NASCAR Outcasts on Facebook. Go get you some insider knowledge over there and have some fun with us, but come with thick skin.
Yep, exactly. And I say it every single time, and I'll say it again. Floyd, kiss my ass. Love you, brother.
Yeah, he said he was talking about someone's birthday and it wasn't yours, and he called you a big fathead or something like that. That was great.
Me and Floyd get along like cats and dogs. It's fun. Man. But with that said here, folks, we have got to wrap it up for another week of the Gas and Go here. And it's been a fun time hanging out with you guys again for a couple of minutes this week, or this weekend rather, as we head into Martinsville. And of course, don't forget also this weekend, coming up in the Xfinity race, we've got to talk about that guy once again here, Patrick Staropoli, the ophthalmologist, making his debut in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this weekend, coming up under Sam Hunt Motorsports or Sam Hunt Racing. So that's going to be a big thing for this weekend here for Patrick. And looking forward to seeing what he can do this weekend, Andy.
I can't wait. You love Patrick Staropoli, not just because he's a friend of mine and friend of Joey Coulter's and been sat here in my seat on Burning Rubber Radio a few times, but he's just a great guy, and maybe he can operate on our eyes and get rid of these Coke bottles that you and I wear their way.
You know what? Who knows? That might be something in our future. That would actually be nice to not have to worry about having double the peepers, because, I mean, God, bifocals at 37 scares the living hell out of me. But either which way here, folks, we're going to get out of here for another week of Burning Rubber and the Gas and Go here on Facebook, YouTube, and the Rumble channels. We love you. Be safe. And until Monday, Burning Rubber, baby.
Rubber, baby.
Burning rubber, baby.
Yeehaw.